All right, the NFL just released an odd video yesterday, pretty much dogging Brian Branch in the video. NFL Films did this, and you know it was bad because they then took it back down. But the good news is people like Jeremy Reisman on Pride of Detroit, they put it on their Twitter. So it's like, no, you don't get to put that back. So we got it, but the NFL added insult to injury with the suspension for Brian Branch. The Lions, we'll talk about that. We're also going to talk about a Lion that's just saying like, hey, I'm an all-pro. He's going to be a $50 million man very, very soon. And we'll give a little more insight into the newest safety that we have that is signed to our active roster. All right. His name is Jammy, which is hilarious to me. He should be a corner, not a safety. So we're going to talk about all those things. But let's start by talking about this NFL Films video. And you can find it. Jeremy Reisman here. Like, look, here's the deal. This is an article on Pride of Detroit, but if you follow Jeremy Reisman on Twitter, you can do that. I should probably repost it on our Twitter. Why not? I'm terrible at Twitter, but we do have one. If you want to follow us, go ahead and do that, Sports Talk Detroit. And, so anyways, with all of that being said, let's talk about this video. It was really, really odd. It puts Branch's frustrating night against the Chiefs into context, but it's a strangely insulting video. And basically what happens in this is it is a highlight montage where it is being narrated by Louis Riddick, and he's talking about it. It's over the top. He says it was a long game for Lions safety Brian Branch. Says he got burned by Travis Kelce's basketball move, and it shows him getting beat. Just by a normal play. Shows him getting beat. He got showed up by Mahomes, right, where Mahomes scored the touchdown and kind of looked and pointed at him and stuff like that. Then it talked about how he got juked by Xavier Worthy, and it shows him just getting beat by Xavier Worthy, and took a shot from Juju Smith-Schuster. By the way, that shot from Juju Smith-Schuster was an illegal block. It was an illegal block. It should have been flagged. It was very obvious on the outside of the line of scrimmage. Like, it wasn't like it was way away from the play or anything like that. It was close enough to the play that the officials easily should have seen it. And the turning point led to Branch's boiling point, and then it goes into the next thing. It just goes, and it is true. It's weirdly insulting, and you can be like, no, that's what happened. You can make that argument. I make that argument usually. Like, I'm the guy who's like, no, there's no ulterior motives here. There's nothing different. But NFL Films took it down. Like, that's the thing. The NFL Network took it down. They took down the video, but they saved a version of it. So that's fantastic. I can't show you due to NFL copyright on YouTube, but again, on Twitter, you can find it. And here's what I'll do. Before I put this video up, I'll find this, and I will make sure I copy it to our Twitter. So go to Sports Talk Detroit on X, and I know I've been calling it Twitter the whole time. I'm really old. And you can find it there as well. So I wanted to talk about that, and it is frustrating. I don't think Brian Branch ever had a place to do what he did. I completely understand that. And I'm with the NFL on that he deserves a one-game suspension. Dan Campbell himself said it's unacceptable. We don't tolerate that. However, this insult on top of it is dumb and should not be acceptable either. It's not going to get him his suspension back. He's still going to be out this week, and then we have a bye week. By the way, can we just talk about the fact that he was hurt? Like, he was playing with a bad foot. He had a foot injury. I don't know exactly what the injury was. They didn't go into details. The Lions didn't, but he was hurt. Like, he was getting beat because he kept playing off that foot. Like, it was very clear him and Kirby were both nursing injuries. So hopefully they can both get healthy. And if you need to sit them both out for this game in order to get them healthy for the home stretch of the season, do it. All right. Now, I want to talk about another guy by the name of Aidan Hutchinson. Look, here's the deal. He's been really good, and every number backs it up. He hasn't just been good on the eye test. The first week or two, the eye test was a little shaky, but he has been remarkable, especially the last 4 weeks. And when you look at one of the things, that he's doing. He's tied for the NFL lead, and you can see this in this article. All right, he's tied for the NFL lead in forced fumbles with 4. He ranks first in total quarterback pressures. He's also tallied 6 sacks and has earned an elite 92.3 overall grade from Pro Football Focus, ranking second on all qualified edges. 6 sacks, 6 games. He's on the pace for 17 sacks. I always say Hutchinson plays more snaps than any defensive end in the league, so he should be first in total pressures. However, this is different this year, and it's because he continues to have an elite 92.3 overall grade from PFF. I do believe, last I checked, and I don't think the Chiefs game is going to do anything to hurt that, he rated number one on PFF. But what's different this year is the 4 turnovers. And he went to say it's the NFL. Everybody knows how crucial turnovers are. All right, but I think we're doing it. We're being about it, which is why we've had a good amount of success. Him specifically. This is what's crazy. He's registered at least 1 sack and a forced fumble in 4 straight games, which is tied for the longest streak by any player since 1990. Look, I know that's kind of an obscure stat, and I don't know how people find these stats. However, gotta love the databases, right? It might be obscure, but it just goes to show how dominant this stretch has been by Hutch. And in this stretch, we're 3-1. And so our defense has been, outside of the completely injured backfield against Kansas City, our defense has been good. And it has allowed our offense, which has been very good. There's been complimentary football during this stretch until we played the Chiefs. This is really, really impressive. The most impressive play that I might have seen in Hutch's career was when he bulldozed tight end Noah Gray. Like, just bulldozed him straight into Mahomes while having an arm free to rip the ball out. All right? Now, it was called back, or not called back, but they recovered the fumble. So it was just a sack, and then I believe we gave up a first down anyway. But it was so good that it actually made me go back, and you need to look at these highlights of Reggie White just throwing offensive tackles. Like, he had that move where he'd come in, and then with his right hand, he would just kind of move. He would get up under the shoulder pad and just throw them. There's a couple times where he'd, throw them into the quarterback, using them as projectiles. Hutchinson isn't that type of player, but he did something similar to that, which was just remarkable to me to watch and see it. He's really, really good. And this is what he had to say in response to it. He said, "It's been a fun year, man. It's been different because I feel like in my career, I haven't forced this many turnovers. Even when I was at Michigan, I didn't have a ton of forced fumbles," he expressed. "I've put a big emphasis on it this year of attacking the football. And it helps that I'm there more, that as you grow as a player and you get more opportunities to create turnovers. So there's that. But just putting a focus on it, it's a premium in the NFL." Now, here's the deal. It is a good premium, but there's another time where he had the ability to get Mahomes, and Mahomes got away from him. That's kind of been a bugaboo for Hutch at times in his career, is he'll have the quarterback right in his grasp, and he'll miss him. And so and Baker Mayfield is really good at making defenders miss. So Hutchinson alluded to that. Like, yes, you want to get strips, you want to get the ball. There's no doubt about that. But he talked about how Mayfield has crazy scramble tape of him getting out of sacks. He said it's been impressive to watch. We've got to be on our stuff if we're going to get him to the turf on Monday. So it's a lot of just take him to the ground and make sure he's there, because he'll fight out of some tackles, and he's really good at that. It's good to know that he has that in mind. You can go for the football, but you need to wrap up at the same time. You can punch, but you got to come with both hands, and you're wrapping up with the other one too. So this is a $50 million man, and just prepare yourself. We're not going to be able to pay all these players, but they're playing so well that we can't. That's good. Brad Holmes will keep drafting at a good clip and an elite talent. And so this is a great problem to have. You'll never hear me not say that. I just wanted to clear the air on the insult to injury from the NFL in that video. That was dumb. And Brian Branch is going to be a man on a mission this year, I think, because of it. And then I also just wanted to talk a little bit, about Hutch and just the complete dominance that he's had. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that subscribe button. You see me wearing the Michigan shirt. I've actually started a Michigan channel. So Sports Talk Wolverines, if you are a Michigan fan, sorry, Sparty, head over to that channel and hit the subscribe on that for Michigan content similar to this. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.